Alright, welcome back. Today we are going to be painting this custom Warlock Engineer that I made for our Skaven army. I took the Adeptus Mechanicus model, one of the Adeptus Mechanicus models, and I took our old Warlock Engineer and started putting like those parts on here and give him like a cool different head and a little book to kind of make him look more cool. I think this is really cool. I saw someone do it on Reddit and I was like, I really like how that turned out. I want to do something similar. Of course we did a little bit different stuff. What we did, I'll just go through the parts, is we used a head from the Plague Monks kit and an arm from the Plague Monks kit. It's a left arm, but you know, like you can't really tell off here. We used the Warlock Engineer's spear thingy that he has, also his backpack. We put that there instead of the backpack on this guy. We used this gun because this one looked the most kind of fantasy-y. I've also taken some parts from the Skaven, the big boys, the big guys. I put some parts from there on here instead to make it look a little bit different. But that's all we really did otherwise. I mean, the parts are really easy to get on. You just snip off the hand here and just put that on, and then snipped off and just glued stuff on. So I mean, it turned out pretty cool, I think. So let's get to painting. So our skin for our Skaven is this medium sea gray. I have another one next to me. I have some of my other models next to me. It's reference because it's been a little bit of a while since I've painted my Skaven. I picked this head because it had a little bit of a hood on it, like the original head for this had. So it just kind of ties it together more. I also gave it the bell, because you know, that's just more Skaven iconography that I wanted to include on this to make it look a little bit more Skaven than just like a model that I just glued parts on, like, you know, just kind of mishmashed. I wanted to make it make sense. You can probably just paint in there. It's not a big deal. Paint his ear. Can't really get this ear, but we can try ink like that. We can fix that later. Cool. A lot of the hands are mechanical here. This hand though is a Skaven hand, so we'll put that let's paint that guy. Okay, and then, yeah, it's just all robot hands. So from here, we can go on to the metallics because there is a lot of them on this guy. So let's go to our gunmetal. And we'll start kind of getting these little hoses. As well as these guys down here. Best here to get these pieces. we'll leave that because we'll probably get that, we'll paint that brass. Just want to get the hose parts first. And all these like under bits. Something for his little claw. I was kind of thinking about taking all my leaders for this army and doing something similar with them and just mixing them with Adeptus Mechanicus stuff. So I might continue to do this with the rest of the models in my leadership. I don't think the regular guys are gonna do anything like this with, but because that would just be a lot of kit bashing for like small units. And I think their units look really cool. I think their leaders, a lot of their leaders are out of date. Especially like the Warlock Engineers and the only new one is like that Bombardier that came with the kit, with that starter set. And other than that, it's all like old models. So just giving them a little bit of an update is kind of cool. Let's get the barrel here. We'll paint these. We don't know if we're gonna go over them with the brass, but we'll get them colored just in case we decide to go like with different colors. Leader. And we'll paint a lot of this like warp stony colors, like it's like the warp is powering this armor for him. This video works as a way of painting the warp or the Adeptus Mechanicus model as much as it does for this custom Skaven guy, so maybe it'll give you ideas. Okay, let's see, we want this. We're just picking out some of these areas. We're going to go in with that brass color in a lot of it, so let's get here, we'll get some of this, this guy. I feel like this is like a little teeny shock gun, like a shock attack gun, or like their warp fire thrower. It's like a little mini warp fire thrower. It looks cool. So this is like I want to give him this. Maybe this is silver, and then the rest of it will be the it looks a little messy right now, but don't worry. Don't worry, guys. We will clean it up. My hand is also cramping pretty hard. I should have it in the little brace thingy that I use sometimes, but that would be smart. We want to paint that. It's funny because this looks like super extra small for him, but think it's funny. Okay, is that all the... No. Let's get this portion of... Oh wait, and I think we just do the middles. Do the middle here of this. And then we'll go through in a second. I also wanted to take the gray while we had it still here and just paint the top of this arm just to kind of unify it together. Why is this so wet? Okay. I'm gonna put this on the clamp. I think that's gonna be a little weird because he has all these little bits that are sticking out over the edge. Okay. Okay, now let's go with our brassy brass. So what I want to do is I want to do the front of these little spiky bits here, and then these little grabby grabs, the ends of these little hooky things, whatever they are, little plugs. And that'll just give it, it'll break it up a little bit more for us. We paint his bell, don't forget the bell. And then we'll just work our way up now. So we want to get the bulk of this. And the bottom here. And then we'll get into the armor here. And this is why I kind of wanted to do the silver second, because like these panel lines on here, I'm probably going to go over with that silver also. So we ain't done yet. And this model is definitely taller than the Warlock Engineer, sorry. But it's on the same size base. I put it on the same size base that it's supposed to be on, so it's not super crazy. But I don't see the problem with people being like, yeah, you can use it, because we're not using like true line of sight or anything like that when we play. So as long as the base is the right size, I don't think I should have a problem getting my opponent to be like, oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, especially since it is also a Games Workshop product. I'm not using like some third-party thing. But Skaven definitely need an update. Like, their models are so old, and then just like the little throwers, the little plague thrower guys, they're expensive for how many that you need. Well, that I'm using, right? Like, I think 30 of them, and they're like $10 for one. It's a little excessive. But it's, you know, it's, the hobby is not cheap sometimes. Well, ever. But you just gotta pick when you pull the trigger on certain things. Or if you just customize and go elsewhere, you know. I'm hoping they update them soon though. But I do like this idea of using Adeptus Mechanicus as a base for them, because I feel like they share, I mean, not a lot in common, because like obviously I'm not some lore master that knows a whole bunch about this stuff, but you know, I just think their aesthetics match really well together, at least for Clan Skyer, which is the one that I use the most. This the more techie one. Let's just go through here. We want this, and get it there. And we gotta go continue along this guy here. Still haven't finished this army too. Like I need to get on this guy because like I was supposed to finish all my armies before quarantine is over. It's not officially really over yet, right? Like we still got to wear masks. So hopefully I'll try to finish all these, because I started that the what's it called is more important right now. The Night Haunt is more important right now because that's the army that I'm gonna be playing at LVO. But unless Warhammer 3.0 drastically changes everything, there's also some things about unit sizes and stuff like that. So we'll see what changes and stuff happen. Because if I can't run units the size that I need them to be, then and I have to buy a bunch more stuff, then I'll kind of be like, oh, maybe I'll run something else. I'm gonna have my KO. I have these guys, and I have my orcs. But I played orcs last time, so I want to try something different. Should have found like a rat tail to kind of stick out somewhere. More paint. Just get those parts of this arm that we want it to be this color. And you can do some stuff to like separate them more, but to me it doesn't super matter right now. I'm gonna just get these like the joints are what I'm painting this brass color. Okay. That gets all his armor. Now we just have to get some little bits here and there just to tie all of this together more. I think we can do this for this part. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, we have to get these our little, oops. Now that I'm seeing this is like a lot of the same color kind of blending into a lot of the same color. So, well, hopefully when I line it with the silver, then it looks better, question mark? Let me just do the same for, like, let me double check this. Now we can do this silver. Let's do like the little container rods here, and then we'll do this color. Just really quick hit that guy. Okay, now let's go back to our bolt gun color. Okay, and then now we can try to line all this stuff. And it's going to help separate it a lot better. Get this stuff here. And it's working, it's doing its job right now. Ooh, we got too much on here. Now let's redo the seal here. And we'll do these little caps here. Same thing with this little power box right here. Just make sure I get it painted. We can fix all that outside stuff later. Okay. And then we can go into these. Need more paint down. Some more gunmetal. This whole plate right here to be silver. Do that. Clean that up here. Get this side here. There's a couple chords that I missed. Just want to make sure I get those. We're good. Okay. So now get the book, and we're going to use this German Camel Beige World War II for the pages. So it looks kind of like oldie paper. You get all the little edges there. Then we're going to the leather brown for the outside of the book, the binding. And then we get the edges here. Bottom edge. Same thing over here. And then I can't really see that side of the book over there, so we're gonna have to just kind of make little jabs at it. Okay. And we'll go back into our brass probably for the metal parts. Just because it's a special engineering manual for the rats, for the Skaven. Okay, now we're going to clean up the black with just black paint. So like his cloak and his hood here. Just gonna clean those up. Any areas that we splashed over here with the metallics too. Just tidying it up. Let me just look at the arm here, make sure we didn't get too crazy in there. Same thing here, just clean that up. Get those corners there. Cool. Now we can move on to dry brushing. We use a, what brush is this? This smells okay. Okay, we're gonna use this Ghost Gray. Well, I think we use Ghost Gray to dry brush, and the medium sea gray also. So let's just go. First, let's go in with this Ghost Gray on the black and the skin. That's what we're doing. So can help bring out different shapes, really help get that hood showing up there. Oh, so we get the ground at the same time too, because it is like a cement that we're kind of going for the ground. So this was the Warlock Engineer that was like one of the first videos on my channel. So I just repurposed that model, his little bits, to become something greater. Okay. And I think we can get a little bit of gray in there. And just kind of, oop. Okay, and let's get some white, some matte white for the teeth here really quick. Just a little bit, don't need a ton. And we'll move into washes. So we're just gonna just put white in the mouth there, and the wash will call it out for us. Okay, so we do a black wash where you get Known oil, and we use that on the skin. So let's just get some of that, and then we just boop. Just there on the skin. Oops. When it goes crazy like that, you just draw off your brush and you can suck it up with it. Okay. Now we go for since the next most color is gold, so we're gonna go with the Reikland Flesh shade for that. I think it's a black wash. You can see. Let me look. Here's our bombardier. I think it's a black wash, so I think we can do the black wash. Let's take our Known oil, and go over the metallic, the silver metallics. So all these little grabby arms, the little bits here. You can even brush onto the cloak if you want, because it's black. Just make sure you get the little bits here. Put here. Here. Get up here. That thing. We'll probably mix the black and the black and the brown wash together to get our final color on these, but for preliminary, let's just get it on all the stuff. There we go. Now we go to the Reikland Flesh. And we get all our metals. So I'm gonna get the bells, the little gauges that we have here, the tips of all these little guys. This reminds me of like a Skeksis kind of how he's like built and like big and kind of hunched over. Getting big Skeksis vibes here. just love how vibrant this wash makes the colors. Okay. There's that. Now we can go to our Agrax Earthshade wash on more of the metallics. And that is here. Agrax Earthshade. We're kind of going to be mixing it with the blacks and stuff, so it's going to kind of give it that worn, brown, rustic look. Especially, oh, that was way too much. Put it on there. The hands. Remember, they live underground, so dirt is okay to be on them. We're just mixing those together to get some nice variance in color. Okay. Now we go on to, there was a spot I missed. And if I'm right, it should be red. Give me one second really quick. Check this guy. It's red, yeah. Okay. So we have to put the red on his staff. So we'll take our scarlet. Just get a little bit, we don't need a ton because we're going to kind of lightly brush it over the top the best we can. So get that and just brush it over. And when it dries, we'll do a black wash over it. And that'll give us the all this texture. It'll bring out that texture more for us. Okay. So now we're going to do the Warp Lightning colors. And for that we use the Scorpina Green. And for us, it's the eyes and all the warp stuff too. So let's get the eye first. This one's kind of closed a little bit, but let me see if I can clean that up a little bit. And then now we'll start getting our warp stuff filled. And we want to do this after the wash because this is what keeps it super vibrant. So we want to do some of these hoses. Okay, so his pistol is a warp pistol. And get these little warp stones right here. we want this guy. This warp lightning cannon. Okay. And then there's also this hose right here that we want to get. And then there's all these little hoses on top here that we also want to get. So okay. And really quick, let's clean that because I don't want the red in here. Okay, so that gives him his warp powers. And then I'll just take this black and then we'll just do some like scribbles in here. And then followed by like a little Skaven symbols here and there. There's just like a little book now. And then we'll take Agrak's Earthshade here. Forgot to wash the book, so gotta wash it. Just put brown on the back here. And then same thing on the front here. I just kind of here we go. And there we have our Warlock Engineer, our custom Warlock Engineer for our Skaven army. As always, thanks for watching. Stick around for the turnaround. Like, comment, and subscribe. New videos every Wednesday. And we will see you on the next one.